Before we start today's show, today we want to give a big shout out to Buzz TV. Man, Buzz TV has some really good devices, man. Like this last year, they've come up with some good stuff, and this new year, I'm excited to see what they got.
Yo, it's going to be straight fire. Some devices and features, because I don't want to say one or the other. With Buzz TV, it's hand in hand. They've dropped some fire devices and some amazing features that are always taking things to the next level. We also have been in talks with Omni Labs Robotics, bringing their telecommunication devices and robots to the next level, bringing everybody closer together.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys, their telepresence that you get is very cool. If you guys don't know what telepresence is having a pretty much a robot in front of you where you are remoted somewhere else, and it's like you're there physically, but not really physically. You're there through the robot. It's very cool. Make sure you guys check them out in the description below. Make sure you guys do check out that link. And also, there's this other one that we were playing with, which is very similar to Wolf Launcher, called FCD Box. People are they've been looking for different launchers. They've been looking to see what is out there and available.
You know, it's fully customizable. You can change everything from the icons to the background, not even locally. You can do it remotely as well. So it brings a whole another level of customization to your devices. If you are helping, your families and friends set them up, you're going to want to check this out and see if it's going to be able to help you, your family, your friends, all of you guys get on the next level with all the launchers on the different devices. Talking about devices and streaming and all that stuff, you also want to make sure that no matter what you do online, you stay protected. There's so many VPN services out there. We talk about it all the time. Make sure that you guys try them out. You check them out, see which ones work best for you.
Absolutely. Make sure you guys do check out those VPNs. We do have a couple of them that we recommend in the description below. So make sure you guys do get those. Just get protected, guys. So don't forget to check out the description below for all of these guys that we have shouted out today.
No matter where you guys are listening, watching, whatever from, make sure that you guys hit that subscribe button, that like, drop us a comment, and the reviews actually help us a great deal. If you're looking to do anything for us in this year coming and beyond, the reviews help other viewers like yourself find this podcast and enjoy it as well. So thank you guys. And with all that being said, let's start the show.
And next level's in the house.
What?
Rohas here, Beyond the Streams. We are back at it again with some crazy, insane, I don't even know what to call it. CES is now officially over. And some pretty cool stuff, man.
Hell yeah. There was some really cool stuff on CES. A lot of different stuff. Typically, I'm used to a certain kind of tech, but CES is such a broad range of tech, from cars to computers to all kinds of stuff from all around the world. So it is a really good experience that I hope to enjoy in person next year.
Yeah. So buckle up. These are going to be 5-minute rapid fires on some coolest tech, some crazy tech, and some bizarre tech that we've seen at CES. So I'm going to kick this off, man. The very first thing that I actually was trying to get my hands on, this thing called Petite Cubo or Cubo.
That's the little robot thing, isn't it?
That's the little robot. It's like, it's circumdicular. It's circumdicular. Is that a word?
I don't think so.
I think I'm making up words now. It's circular. There you go. I think that's a real word. And it's got like a little tail on it. And imagine like the body of like a cat without the head, but it's like the size of a Frisbee. and it's thick too. It's actually pretty thick, and it's all furry, and the tail moves around. But it's crazy because it reacts to sounds. If you're there, like petting it and cooing it or whatever, it actually, yeah, it moves its tail faster, gets excited. Um, I think I saw it where somebody went to bed with it, like a kid, and the alarm went off in the morning, and the thing kind of like vibrated, like scared a little bit, like it got like woken up. But it's cool because when it did that, it actually helped wake up the person too, not only the alarm, but that thing too, because they're sleeping there with it. I thought that was pretty cool. I'm actually trying to get my hands on one so that way I can review it.
Hey.
I don't know. What'd you see? What'd you see?
Razer is coming out with a gaming desktop, and it's all modular. It looks really cool, really compact, and has a handle where you can pull all of the components out and kind of just replace them as you need them. So if you wanted to replace the GPU, it's really, really compact. Looks super cool. So I'm super excited about that. It's called the Razer Tomahawk.
And they have some pretty good specs on those too, right?
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to get the specs on it, but it looked really cool. And Razer products are pretty badass as it is. So
yeah, I do remember I saw the invitation for Razer. And I sent them a message saying like, hey, because it was a lot of stuff that they also announced. It wasn't just it wasn't like 2 or 3 laptops. It was like a couple things that they're announcing.
They had this mask. Did you see the mask?
Oh, yes. Yes. Go ahead. Explain, Lucy.
I guess it's a next level mask because we're all going to be wearing them for the next few years. So it has the exhaust vents or the intake vent, whatever you want to call it, but it also has RBG. And I think you can customize the design on it. I'm not sure, but it looks so futuristic. And it's like that's a mask that you invest into and you keep and you wear in a daily. Like it's a fashion statement. Man, I wish I had a picture of it so I could show you.
It's supposed to purify like all the air coming in. It's supposed to keep you cool inside, so that way you're not just inhaling carbon. It's very like the first thing when I was looking at this thing, I was like, man, I'm like, the first thing I would do is I would make it look like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. Walk around, get over here. But it was, yeah, very, very neat. But Razer announced several things. This is what I did. Next level don't know this yet, but as some of you guys know, I do try to network as much as I can, and on Beyond the Streams, we've actually been very fortunate to get a lot of variety of different people. I talked to Razer, and they're actually interested in coming onto the podcast.
Oh yeah.
And they said that they're going to check their inventory to see what they got.
Well, I'm sure they got some.
And I'm like, I won't complain what you send.
No. Hey, we're happy if they even give us a coupon code because we can go back to the people, you know?
Yeah, I'm like, hook it up. Hook it up. So crazy. Now, Samsung, of course, Samsung was announcing so much at this show. It was crazy. I got a first glance at the S21, which was kind of weird. The Samsung Galaxy S21, it didn't look like they stepped their game up. I'm actually, as you guys know, I'm a big Samsung fan. Love their phones, never switched. I'll tell you this. I am not interested in this new phone that they got.
Ooh. You know,
I'm not.
Digital Slang and I, on a podcast, convinced Rohas to say that he was getting a OnePlus to check it out. So we're waiting still. We'll see. If he's not getting the S21 or the Note 21, then he might get a OnePlus. Who knows? We'll see. The
one thing that I saw on the Samsung Galaxy S21, I was like, why are they adding more lenses? Like, what the heck? There's four lenses. I'm like, dude,
you need more than that.
It's like, dude, it looks more than that. There's like 3 on one side, and then there's 2 on the other. I'm like, one of them's a sensor. I'm like, dude, what the hell are they doing? And then to top it off, this is what kills me. less memory. Less memory. Their flagship phones. So I'm gonna give you guys some stuff here. The S21 starts at $800, while the larger screens S21 Plus cost at $1,000. The S21 Ultra with an even larger screen and more cameras cost 1,200 USD. And they're claiming that it's going to be less memory than the previous phones. So I'm over here saying like, okay, hold on a second. They didn't say anything about the Note. Please do not make it come with less, because right now my Note works just fine. And I keep hearing about this OnePlus. I might get the OnePlus and see how it works, and I might be carrying two phones for a while. But I might get the new OnePlus. I know you guys were saying the OnePlus 7,
No, OnePlus 8.
OnePlus 8. That's their new one, right?
That's the newest one, yeah.
I might wait a little bit longer because OnePlus will probably have one more that comes out after that. They'll probably have another one coming out this year.
Yeah.
You know, it's like every year they come up with stuff.
OnePlus comes out with two or three new phones a year. So
yeah. Now, there was a massive event. Oh my gosh. I ran into Digital Slang. I think nxtlvl, you were there. Soundcore by Anchor had that concert, that virtual concert. They had like Neo singing. They had the CEO come in and talk about the new Liberty 2, which everyone's like, dude, these are AirPod killers. Like, these things are just incredible. Now, I've been very fortunate to meet several people now that I've been getting more and more and more headphones and headsets. So I'm getting more into them. Like, damn, like there's some good headphones or earbuds or neck earbuds for $50, dude. That is not that bad. But the second you go like $20 more, you're just like, whoa, this is a difference. The second you go to that $100, you're just like, dude, the features. And then when you start going even to the 140, 160, 180, you're just like, oh my gosh, like, really? Like, these things are just incredible. I've never used AirPods, so I don't know what I'm missing out. But these earbuds that I'm trying out, and everybody keeps saying like these ones are just incredible. I know Digital Slang just recently did the Samsung. I think it was even featured on The Verge, right? Dude, big shout out to Digital Slang, dude. He's been kicking some butt over there, man.
hell yeah, him and El Jefe for real.
Yeah,
For real,
big time. Yeah,
So-
if you guys need all your audio
fixes.
needs, yeah, check El Jefe, check Digital Slang. Some of the two top guys that will just break it down. The one thing about headphones that people should realize is when we review them, it's not like we could say, hey, these sound good. Here, you could listen to them. You can't. You kind of have to like try them on your own, or trust the YouTuber, whoever, or the reviewer, whoever is giving you these reviews on these headphones. But I've tried out some off-brand, I'll tell you this here. I'll show you my off-brand that I got. That's my off-brand, Apex. These things are really good. It uses a standard USB. It's not USB-C. Here is the LED lights. When I take one off, I can't tell if it's like turning on or not. Like there's a little light there. There goes little lights in here. But when you put it on, it's good. It goes around my ear. It fits great. When I put it in, then it starts blinking like, hey, cool, I'm charging. And then there's a light. So these have worked really good for my running and everything. And I like the ones that are over the ears because I feel like they're more secure as I'm running. And you guys know I'm a runner. But the second I try something else, like the ones you just stick them in, they always fall out. At least that was my impression like 2 years ago. That's why I never really got into the earbuds, because I'm just like, nah, I'm just gonna use these and they sound good and I'm good. Now that I've been playing with them, I'm just like, man, there's some earbuds that would just stay there. You put them in and they're there.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You know, all kinds of accessories and everything when it comes to, headphones. One of the crazy things I saw was OtterBox is coming out with gaming accessories.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool. So they've been always coming out with some really nice cases. Actually, the case on my phone is actually the OtterBox Defender, which is their top of the line for their series. Usually it goes commuter, then there's Defender, that's the more expensive one. So our phones these days are typically $1,000, and it drives me nuts. This is an off-topic rant, but we buy these really, really beautiful ass phones and we can't show them off. What's the point of having a really nice looking phone if it's always going to be stuck in a freaking case? Drives me nuts, right? We have to, and this is the way it's gone. So their new gaming accessories is actually partnered with Xbox. I'm sorry you don't want to hear that, but so it's like a controller shell where you can put your phone into it, and there's like a whole controller that goes with it, and it's nice and secure. It's cool that different companies, and this is one thing that I saw a lot of in CES, a lot of companies are partnering with other companies to bring us tech that we never would have seen before. Like for instance, who was it? LG was partnering with Magna to get into the automotive industry. That was insane. I was like, what? And they're going to be bringing smart tech to the automotive industry from LG. I was like, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So like, there's so many different companies that are just looking to take things to the next level by bringing all their resources together. I'm super excited about that. Super excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be really, really cool. You know that the Wi-Fi 6E is now out. It's okay. So people normally, when we start talking about smart home automation, we talk about 2.4 gigahertz. It has that distance and it connects pretty much all your smart home stuff. So that's your 2.4 gigahertz. Now, when it comes to your 5 gigahertz, your 5Gs, the distance is shorter, but it's really strong and really powerful. Most of the time with a lot of these smart home stuff, they don't like that 5G. They want you to connect to the 2.4. It's just not compatible with that 5G.
Yeah.
So most of the devices just say, nope, 2.4. It gives you a much longer, consistent range. It's not as strong, but it's going to be more consistent than the 5G. 5G, if you're really close to it, the only sad part, a lot of smart home stuff does not use the 5G, just because of if you do decide to put it somewhere further than the signal goes, then it's going to be so spotty. I've never had really problems with 5G. Like honestly, when I'm on my cell phone and I'm upstairs and I have a good distance, these companies need to start moving into 5G, because this new Wi-Fi 6 is now, they're introducing 6 gigahertz now.
Mm-mm.
Now,
Okay, that's cool.
does that mean, because remember, we went 2.4 with distance, 5G is less distance. Is 6G going to be even less distance?
Dude, I thought I read before that it is less distance, but I don't want to say anything that I don't know for sure. So I'm just saying, more bands is always better for real.
So, okay, I just found something right here that says there's one downside. 6G signals they can't travel as far through your house. So it's pretty much 5G can travel through your house, but it is spotty. That's why smart devices use 2.4. Now they're saying 6 won't be able to travel as far through your house, even worse than the 5G. But, and they put the but, all exclamation point. It's a big but.
it's a big butt.
It's a big booty. But they'll be extremely helpful when devices are together.
Ooh, they can bounce signals maybe.
That's interesting.
Huh.
And of course, they're saying to take advantage of this, you're going to need a new router, look for the letter E, not just the 6, as well as devices that support it. Um, the 6G bands will be mostly used by the devices that really need all that bandwidth. 8K TVs
Hell yeah.
and new laptops.
Well, anything that needs low latency, right? Like your gaming, your streaming technology, your streaming tech, like all that stuff that needs low latency. Anything else, you can get away with your 2.4 all day.
Yeah, and the last statement that this thing says is Wi-Fi 6E could also be very useful for future mesh routers, which work as a team to spread Wi-Fi all over your house. So it does sound like this is going to be bouncing off of each other.
Hell yeah.
That's good. That's really good. That means the more devices connected you got, the more power. I really hope smart home devices figure out a way, not only with the 5G but with the 6G also. Because if it's going to be spreading around, let's get it going together. You know, that should be pretty cool. And I know you and me have been both messing around with some 5G, so some not 5G, some mesh stuff.
Yeah. Mesh, like it's the next evolution of routers. Like
Mhm.
when people ask me, "Oh, should I get this router?" I'm like, those were routers that are really good that we recommended maybe 2 years ago, but now everything I recommend is mesh. Go
Mhm.
mesh. Go mesh or don't go home. Go home. Go home.
Go
Stay
mesh or
home.
go home.
Yo, I seen LG's been coming out with some crazy stuff. I was just mentioning them about how they're partnering with Magna. They showed off an LG transparent OLED TV, and they showed it off that goes at the end of the bed and it's completely transparent. Like that's nuts that we're entering into transparent TVs. Yes, we're getting into 8K, but transparent, that's kind of cool, man. I don't know. What do you think about transparent TVs?
Uh, I'm kind of interested how they're gonna do it. It's kind of like the future, I guess not the future. It's very futuristic, very like I don't know what the right word is. It's very like Tony Starkish, where everything is like invisible ish, and they just kind of I don't know. They just see things, and it's like a mirror. It's crazy, you know.
Yeah,
So
there was the transparent TVs. They showed off some more of the rollable TVs. Um, I'm really interested in what TCL is doing. Did you see all the stuff that TCL is coming out with?
not everything.
There's so many things. Like their phones, they're coming out with 3 different phones. I think this year. TCL is also hitting up the 8K market with their TVs. Just TCL is doing some really interesting stuff. I think they're really smart with how they're marketing a lot of their products. Some of their phones, they were mid-range phones, but they're made to look like premium phones. And we all know with the Snapdragon processors, the mid-range Smackdragon, the mid-range processors that are coming from Snapdragon processors now are good enough. They're really good. Like if you look at the Pixels are coming with the mid-range processors. They're not coming with the high-end ones. And there are a lot of people that like those Pixels, man. So I'm super excited to see what TCL is doing this year. Super excited.
Yeah, that should be pretty cool. Yeah, hopefully they. I know we get super excited with it. Hopefully they just don't go too much. Like we're still in this whole pandemic thing, and we're still catching our breaths. So yeah, some cool stuff. The other thing too is um, there has been a lot of telepresent robots.
Mhm.
Big shout out to Omni Labs. Omni Labs has some insanely nice telepresent robots. You could take care of it from home. You could go see your grandma. You could use it for work. If you're at work, they could set it up so that way you could have like a live representative there helping you out and showing your product. A lot of cool stuff. There was another robot that I saw there that is, it's not a telepresence, but it's similar. And the way they had it was a robot that was for seniors, or for for seniors, I guess. It had a bigger base. It was a little bit bulkier, so there's no way this thing could tip over. It had a touch screen, and it almost had like the Amazon, like it's not Amazon, but they have their own calling word in there, your own Echo or whatever it's called.
Mhm.
Um, your Assist, your Google Assist, and it's cool because they actually had it where you could like it has a little smiley face. It talks back to you. Um, it's more of a companion It's more of a companion. When if something were to happen to you, like if you fell and you said, "Hey, I fallen," or "I did," or "I'm," can you please call 911? Or, dude, this thing assists you. Like, it will call the neighbor, it will call whoever you have listed. It's pretty insane, like like how they had it set up. You know,
Didn't Samsung come out with a robot too?
I didn't see Samsung stuff.
Shoot, I swear Samsung came out with a robot. Let me see. I'm gonna if I can pull it up real quick. It was, oh man, I know that Samsung came out with a robot, man.
Well, there is a lot of robots that came out, but
For real.
for when it comes to like these telepresent type robots, the assisting robots, like, shoot, last year they showed a freaking exoskeleton. I don't know if you saw that one or heard about that. I know I talked about it. They had an exoskeleton, dude, just like Call of Duty. It was literally like Call of Duty, the future warfare, whatever it was called.
Mhm.
And they had exoskeleton suits that the pilots were using, and they could lift all kinds of heavy stuff, pack it away. Like, oh, Avatar. You know how Avatar had those big robots that they got in and they're able to lift heavy stuff? It looked very similar to that, but not as big. A lot smaller.
Okay,
I
so
was
the Samsung robot, it's called Bot Handy, and it has an arm. And the demo showed it taking dishes out of your dish rack.
Oh, well, that was last year. They had that last year too.
They,
Yeah. They had that last year too. Actually, there's a couple companies. It wasn't just Samsung. A couple companies that did that. They'd go grab it, move it, wash it. Like, yeah, I was just like, I'm like, yeah, I can see all these broken dishes, or this thing starts throwing dishes at me. But speaking about elderly healthcare,
oh yeah.
there is a virtual reality. It's literally a VR, exactly what you're thinking, a VR machine that you put over your head. It's wireless. You don't have to connect it to anything. It's just like in like the gaming, just like PS5 has their VR, just like the Oculus. They put this thing on here, and then what they do is it's for seniors. You put it in, and you could actually like send them places. Like, hey, you want to be in a room full of puppies? Boom. Hey, you want to go to Hawaii? Boom. You want to go to New York? Boom. You want to go to Egypt? Boom. It literally shoots you everywhere. And one of the questions, because we did get to talk to I think it was their CEO or the
Yeah.
one of their founders.
Yeah, Patrick,
Um
right?
yeah, he's like, it's endless what we can do with this thing.
It's
And he said the biggest rewarding or the biggest reward was seeing the elderly, like that, like they're there, and they're like one of them that he mentioned a story about this lady, this older lady in a room full of puppies, and she just lit up. um the way it works is they have a tablet, they could load whatever scenes that it is, put it on there, and then they're transported to wherever they want to go.
some of the craziest things that we saw through the company was called Rendeavor. Some of the craziest things that we saw with that was that one, you could load custom scenarios. If you had a 360 camera, you could upload custom stuff. And then if you had friends and family or people in the same area, you could have what I'm calling multiplayer because they can dial into the same scene with you, like
Mhm.
insane. It's castable to a TV. So if there's other people that want to see what you're seeing but don't want to wear the headset, then they can see what you're doing. Like, so much crazy stuff. They said that in the beginning of their company, they their goal was to create 100, I guess, what do you call it, adventures? I don't know, I'm gonna call it adventures. And
Yeah, I
then they
think you
got
call
to
them
200,
adventures.
and then they were like, we don't even know how many we have now. Like, if you want to go anywhere, you can go anywhere. If you want something custom, they're constantly creating custom adventures. So it's nuts. Love
It
it.
is crazy. It is, yeah, absolutely crazy. Now, one of the things that I saw, and I actually got my hands on it, and I actually dropped a review on my new channel. That's a whole other story to talk about, but not today. Um, there's these robot vacuums now that I actually got to review. That typically with your robot vacuums, they go on your tile floor or wood floor, like pretty much a hard surface floor. And some of them, what they used to do, some of them only just went on hard surface floors. And then they started to come up with just recently ones that go over rugs. Bro, the one that I was able to test not only went over rugs without a problem, it was able to go on top of carpet. And I'm not talking about short carpet. I'm talking about like long carpet.
Mhm.
It was able to go around, and I was very surprised how, like, I run my vacuum. I'm like, let me just run this thing and see how, and I'm like, dude, it even went to the edge of my stairs. It literally went like that to the edge of my stairs. Um, and I thought it was gonna fall. You could see my camera like go like jerk forward and then backwards, but it stopped and then turned around and came right back. I'm like, no way! Like super neat, super cool. Some of the stuff that they're coming up with are just crazy. I don't know if you got to saw those vacuum robots, but anything to help around the house is great.
You know, I didn't see the vacuum robots because I actually don't have any carpet where I live. So
Mhm.
one of the things that I was super, I didn't even think I was going to be this interested. But what is that bathroom company? Kohler? Is it called Kohler?
Oh,
Kohler. I think it's called Kohler. But their stuff that they're coming out with, their smart home tech, I was completely blown away by. They've gone completely touchless with everything and taken like simple things like taking a bath to the next level. Like when I saw their bath, I was like, I need that. Like I want to redesign my whole bathroom just to get that thing in there. It had it where, oh man, okay, so your bathtub, around your bathtub, it had these like wooden crates on the floor, right? And it had like RGB lighting and it had like mist coming up, right? Look cool. The water goes right to the brim and it overflows, goes down the bathtub into the wooden crates, gets reheated and circulated back around. I was like, that's insane.
wow.
Like insane. And it looks so cool because you had the lighting, you had the mist, and the water was level and it didn't matter. I was like, why didn't anybody think of this before? So many
Mhm,
times, you know, I ain't a small guy. I get in the bathtub overflows, you know?
mhm.
So it's cool that it has the ability to recirculate the water and keep it at that temperature for you. Like simple stuff like that. They had a touchless toilet too. I mean,
Yep.
that's not new, but there's so many cool things they're coming out with.
Well, I'm about to blow your mind when it comes to these bathroom stuff. I had so some of these, because CES was all virtual, we were able to schedule meetings sometimes in the middle of the night.
Oh yeah.
Like I was up till like 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm just like, trying to stay awake. And I did. I stayed awake for everybody and I got to talk to a lot of people. I forgot the name of this company, but they had toilets, they had tubs, they had sinks, they had all this stuff. But this technology that they're coming up with right now is crazy. You use your toilet, you drop a stool, you okay. Once you drop your stool and you go and you flush and everything, and it's a bidet also. It's a bidet. The toilet sends a health report to an app on your phone telling you if you got too much iron, sugar, like hey, if it like this is too much, you need to watch what you eat because this will lead to colon cancer or diabetes or dude, it literally takes the chemicals from your own body, your own stool, and says eat a damn salad.
That's probably what mine would say every day, but legit, I seen this shit because they said they
Bro,
could also send that information to the cloud or to a family member or a friend. And I was
yeah,
like,
I was like, oh man, okay, I ain't gonna lie, I want one.
I thought, you know, okay, so there's certain scenarios when it was like you could send your to your family, or it didn't say it like that, but I'm gonna say it like that, to a family member or a friend. There are certain situations where that's super helpful. Like if you got, you know, grandmas or grandpa, or you know, even your parents that are a little bit older and they're living by themselves, if they don't, you know, use the washroom in the morning, are they okay? Do I need to check on them? You know what I mean? Like there's certain situations, certain natural routines that we do in our house that smart AI could notify people and it makes sense. You know what I mean? Did they make a coffee in the morning? No, that's not like them. I should check on them. Maybe I should call them. So it's pretty cool the way that we can take homes and implement AI and take it to the cloud and notify a family member or a friend and just kind of help each other stay connected and check on each other, make sure that we're all good in the time where we're locked down. I literally can't leave my house or I get fined. Like, how do I know if my kid's at his mom's right now? Like, I want to check on my kid, want to make sure he's good, you know.
I think
Had a salad lately.
I think it's pretty epic. Yeah. Hey, stop eating Xbox. There's electricity in your stool.
Yeah, there you go.
And you know what's even cooler? These bidets, speaking of electricity, the way this stuff works is the water goes through some electrocurrent. So it cleans your bowl from the inside so you don't get that crusties around, like where the water comes through. Right before you come to the toilet, either to lift up or sit down, whatever you're gonna do, the thing sprays a mist so it keeps everything smooth. And so when you drop, it doesn't stick to the sides. It's like the way he was explaining it was the water, they make the water super soft. So if you don't know what hard water is or soft water is, if you've ever been to either Vegas, Las Vegas, or if you've been to one of those really nice hotels and you take a shower in their hotel and you didn't put soap, shampoo, or nothing, but you're like, man, my skin's really, really soft right now. That's soft water. That's what soft water is. Hard water, that's when your skin is really dry because there's too much like chemical imbalances and minerals and stuff in your water. Too much alkaline stuff like that. So, or not enough alkaline. I forget what it is, but there's a difference. I have very hard water in my house, so I have to run a filter throughout my house because it's just, dude, I was like literally when we first moved in here, like around my mouth and cheeks was all dried up. I'm like, what the heck? My feet super dried. I'm like, dude, I had to put something or I was gonna dry up like crazy. But it spits a mist, it shoots a mist out, keeps everything clean. Once you're done using it and you flush, it still uses that exact same system. It keeps everything clean to the point that you don't have to clean your own toilet.
Well, I mean, but not as often.
People would probably still do it, but he was just like, yeah, he's like the point of how we made this system is so that way you don't have to do it. Like we're saying you don't have to clean it. Like we will post it. Never clean your toilet again. I'm like, really? And they're like,
I want my money back.
Yeah, and here's the thing. So far, this is it's already gone beyond concept. They're already on certain versions.
Okay.
But they're not pushing it out for maybe another 2 years max.
They're not pushing it out.
They want, yeah, no pun intended. Nope. Oh my god. No pun intended. But I was like, it'd be really cool to have like it analyze your urine. And he's like, actually, that's something that we're looking into too. And I'm just like, dude, this totally reminds me of the bench warmers. If you've seen the movie The Benchwarmers, they go and he's using their toilet, the billionaires, and it says it was Rob Schneider that was taking a leak, and the toilet's like, "Hello, if you keep eating whatever, and you have too much within your urine, you will die in the next 5 years." Wow. It's like, whoa!
Imagine you go to relieve yourself, and it's like you can't drive for the next 5 hours because you've had too much to drink. Practical, right?
Yeah. Hey, here's a cool one. As soon as I say it, next level's gonna laugh. Everyone else is gonna, what? Really? So just go along with this one. Okay. Just go along with this one. If you drink too much, I'm piggybacking on the whole drinking thing. If you drink too much, and if you own a Tesla, and if you try to drive your Tesla, the Tesla's actually going to take you over to the local PD.
No way.
It's going to drop you off there because you are not allowed to drive.
But you ain't driving.
Doesn't matter. You're not supposed to be behind any kind of vehicle. So now you got to get there and it's going to say, hey, guess what? And another cool feature that Tesla's adding, if you skip your bill and you didn't pay off your monthly bill, it's going to drive itself back to the dealership.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I believe that one.
That was a joke from one of the co-founders over at
Oh,
BlendJet. So
yeah.
big shout out to, I think, Michael, right? Michael.
So I guess we're talking a little bit about cars though, but one of the very, very first booths that I went to was Mercedes. And Mercedes, their vehicles are being built with a 56-inch touchscreen display. I was like, whoa, 56-inch touchscreen display. Now, when we say 56-inch, the first thing you're going to think of is a TV. No, 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 no. It's literally one end of the car to the other end of the car. The whole from the vents to the vent is all touchscreen and everything in between. Your speedometer, your everything is all going to be touchscreen. It's all going to be right there in front of you, all as one solid unit. It's going to be able to display a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know, man. A lot of these companies are like going to touchscreen displays, really investing into AI and like self-driving. But as we get more into touchscreen, I'm curious if distracted driving is going to be more of an issue. You know what I mean?
Maybe. I think some of the technologies that they're adding right now, where it does the driving assist, where if you start like going too much, it brings you in, or too close to the person in front of you, slows you down. I think well, the law is the law. You are not to be on your you're not allowed to be on your phone, you're not allowed to be touching your screens.
No
When
makeup.
you're driving, it even tells you, yeah, no makeup. Um when you're driving, the screen even tells you make sure you're not watching something on here and driving. It gives you like a little warning. It's kind of cool how it does all that, and but now with stuff like this, like it's like you have all these assists. It just reminds me of like these very futuristic movies. There's been a lot of movies in the future, and not even in the future, like current, like the Marvel movies, like like Tony Stark's doing all this stuff with his cars or his suits or whatever. He's not even driving; he's just letting the car. And Teslas practically drive themselves. They could
Yeah.
like, and there's other cars that could park themselves, and like there's just so many features. I don't know. I don't know. It's the way tech is going right now is insane. It's literally insane. I don't know who's gonna be able to own all this new stuff that's coming out soon, because man, it's just
You know, I watched I guess a general talk because you know how sometimes in CES it wasn't necessarily about a company that you'd have like people talking about a certain situation, and one of them was about electric vehicles, and the guy was saying the goal is by 2024 pretty much everything is going to be all electric, and he said there's so much that goes into it, so much that goes into mapping, so much that goes into AI, because he said we can program a car to understand what the laws are, but to get around humans, to account for humans, that's different. Like, think about the idea of you have four cars that come to a stop sign, and you have some dumb a Aaron that doesn't want to wait his turn, right? And he
yeah.
decides to go. If the AI for the car understands, well, okay, I got here third, so I go third, and the fourth person goes out of line, the car's got to understand, that person's jumping their line. You got to wait your turn. It's not all about the rules of the road. Like, you have to account for human error because, hey, we're humans. We have errors. We're unpredictable. We do some shit sometimes. So there's a lot of stuff that has to go into AI to account for all of the people all around that are not using AI. And I mean, AI is not going to be perfect too. So AI has to account for AI as well.
Yeah. So yes, I'm trying to think. Like, I know there's just so much stuff that we did see at CES that was just insane. I'm trying to think of one more good one before we wrap.
Man, I'm super excited about the laptops.
Dude, Nvidia had a freaking press conference talking about the new cards coming out, and I'm like, you just announced new cards. What do you mean new cards?
Wait, you know what I'm excited about, like for real, is that AMD has finally made it to laptops. I mean, yeah, they've been in laptops before, but they weren't really that good in laptops. They didn't really have good partnerships. The laptops they did come out with were like, I don't really like that.
Mhm.
Now they're partnered with all the big brands. Their processing power is crazy dope. They have like some of the top of the line graphic cards built into like you're getting real gaming laptops from AMD at a real good price.
Mm-hmm.
So what they're doing coming forward in the next few years, I'm super excited for. And they're just dropping bangers after bangers. It's like, okay, we just dropped the 3000 series of our chips. Now we're into our 5000. Well, the 4000 was their laptop chips. Now we're jumping into the 5000, and they keep getting better and better. They're no longer a budget brand. Like they are not a budget brand, but they're still reasonably priced.
Mm-hmm. Their budget compared to Intel. Intel, for whatever reason, they think they're on top of the mountain. Is just like, actually, not really anymore.
Yeah.
So, stay tuned for a lot of crazy commercials this year. Stay tuned for a lot of cool products coming to our channels. Just stay tuned, not just us. For anybody out there that you follow that does tech related stuff, there's going to be some amazing products that are coming out this year. Some is going to be pretty cool to be like, hey, I could definitely afford that. Some stuff's going to be like, well, I might have to save for that. And some stuff's going to be like, one day, just not today.
just one last thing before we wrap it up. This seems like the turning point that we needed. For a long time, tech was very stagnant, right? But now we're on the brink of tech is about to change our lives. So when you look at products that might be a little bit more expensive than what you're used to, it's because it's about to change your life some way, somehow, right?
Yeah.
So just look at that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So make sure you guys do leave us a review, leave us a comment, leave us a thumbs up, leave us something. If you're listening to us in the audio or in the video, every time you do leave us a comment or a thumbs up or a review, it helps the channel. So yeah, we appreciate every single one of you guys that do follow Beyond the Streams. Stay tuned for the next episode. Next Level and Rojas are out.
Yo. Peace.